There's a widely accepted viewpoint that pleasing others is a sign of kindness and care. But is this really true? Or is it a subtle trap that makes you abandon your values and personal identity? Have you ever felt exhausted from constantly trying to please others? Ask yourself, has the satisfaction of others become the standard by which you measure your own worth? Do you yearn to reclaim your freedom, confidence, and decisiveness without worrying about what others think of you? In this complex and ever-changing world, always trying to please others not only makes you lose your personal identity, but also erodes your self-esteem. Stoic philosophy, an ancient yet powerful and practical school of thought, offers valuable lessons to help you break free from this cycle. Epictetus, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." For a long time, Stoic masters have taught that true happiness and tranquility lie in living according to your own values and principles, rather than trying to please everyone around you. Let's explore 10 methods based on Stoic philosophy that can help you stop excessively pleasing others and live a life full of autonomy, confidence, and meaning. Are you ready to break this habit and embark on a new journey where you live for your true values, not the desires of others? If your answer is yes, then this video is for you. Comment, "Stop being a people pleaser" below to let us know you're ready for this journey. Now, let's dive into the profound wisdom of Stoic philosophy to stop pleasing others. Let's begin. Number 1. Understand the root cause. Understanding the root of the problem is the first and most crucial step in the journey to stop excessively pleasing others. To achieve this, you need to delve deep into your soul and recognize the real reasons behind your actions. Is it the fear of rejection, a desire for acceptance, or anxiety about being criticized? Start by asking yourself, why do I always feel compelled to cater to others' emotions? Why do I constantly feel repressed and unable to express myself? The answers might not be simple and will require time to fully understand. You might have had painful experiences where acceptance from others became essential for your sense of safety and self-worth. Or perhaps you grew up in an environment where pleasing others was seen as the standard of kindness and care. Sometimes people please others because they don't value their own desires and needs. Lacking self-respect. Those who seek to please others have a need for external validation and may believe that doing things for others will earn them recognition and approval. Harsh as it may be, we need to truly see the underlying causes to improve our circumstances. Understanding the root of the problem not only gives you a clear awareness of your inner motivations, but also helps you better control your emotions and reactions. When you realize that the fear of rejection is just a product of your mind, you can begin to view it objectively and not let it dictate your actions. As Epictetus once said, people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Recognizing the root of the problem is a powerful starting point to stop pleasing others. It opens the door to personal freedom and a meaningful life where you live true to your own values. Be brave in facing your inner fears and embark on this journey with the mindset of a Stoic philosopher. Steadfast, self-controlled, and full of self-respect. Number 2. Set clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries in relationships is one of the key methods to stop excessively pleasing others. Personal boundaries not only protect your private space and time, but also help you uphold your values and principles. In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Powerful Lessons in Personal Change, Stephen Covey wrote, "No one can hurt you without your consent." This quote perfectly embodies the Stoic philosophy. In life, many people easily overlook their own needs and values just to please others. This not only erodes self-esteem, but also leads to a sense of directionlessness and fatigue. Setting clear boundaries is a way to protect and affirm yourself. By establishing boundaries, you clearly define your limits and do not allow others to cross them. You have the right to control your space and time, and no one can force you to do something you don't want to do. Ask yourself, when was the last time I declined a request because it didn't align with my values? If the answer is rarely or never, it might be time to reconsider how you establish boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't mean becoming selfish or insensitive. On the contrary, it's a way to respect and love yourself. The question is, how can I set boundaries without damaging relationships with others? This is a challenge, but it can be done skillfully and sincerely. Communicate clearly and politely, explaining why you need to maintain boundaries and how it helps both parties understand and respect each other more. Take a simple example. You are working and a colleague asks for help. If you're always ready to help, you will gradually find yourself without time for your own work and personal goals. Instead, set a clear boundary. You might say, "I'm happy to help, but I'm busy right now. Can we discuss this after work?" This way, you maintain your boundaries without offending the other person. Boundaries are not walls to separate, but bridges to connect, respect, and understanding. Setting clear boundaries is an act of self-love and respect. It allows you to live a life true to your values and principles, bringing real peace and happiness. Are you ready to set clear boundaries in your life? Like this video to show me you're ready. Number 3. Prioritize your needs. In our modern lives, filled with pressure and societal expectations, prioritizing your own needs is often seen as selfish or arrogant. However, from a Stoic perspective, this is not only a right, but also a responsibility for each person to live a life true to their values and principles. You might ask yourself, how can I prioritize my needs without feeling guilty? And why is this so important? Imagine you're on a plane and it encounters trouble. When the oxygen masks drop, you're instructed to put your mask on first before helping others. Why? Because you need to ensure your own safety and well-being first to be able to effectively help others. Similarly, in life, if you don't prioritize your own needs, you won't be able to live fully and sustainably. Think about it. When you constantly put others' needs above your own, whose life are you really living? Do you truly feel happy when you ignore your own desires and needs just to please others? Prioritizing your own needs is about taking control of your life. It's about being aware of your values, goals, and limits, and making decisions accordingly. This doesn't mean you don't care about others, but rather that you don't let others' needs overshadow your own. Prioritizing your needs doesn't mean being selfish. It's about taking care of yourself so that you can be ready to help others more effectively. When you're strong and happy, you can spread positive energy to those around you. You might ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What activities bring me joy and satisfaction? Once you answer these questions, you'll start to see the path you need to take more clearly. Learning to prioritize your own needs is closely tied to identifying your values. Let's move on to lesson number 4. Number 4. Identify your values. Identifying your values is a powerful inner journey that frees you from the pressure of pleasing others. It is a process of deeply understanding the principles, beliefs, and goals that matter most to you. When you are clear about your values, you won't be swept away by external expectations and pressures. Instead, you will lead a life with clear direction and purpose based on the values you have defined. Determining your values not only shapes your life, but also helps you resist the temptation to please others. Once you have identified these values, it becomes easier to say no to unsuitable requests without feeling guilty. You will realize that declining is not an act of disrespect, but a demonstration of self-respect and acknowledgement of your own values. Think of a time when you felt pressured to please someone, even though it went against your principles. How did the discomfort and loss of control affect your mind? This only undermines your self-esteem and sense of self-worth. However, when you refuse unsuitable demands and live according to your values, you will feel stronger and more confident. Clarify your values and priorities in life. Knowing what truly matters to you can help you make decisions that align with your true self, rather than compromising your values to please others. Don't hide your needs and passions just to accommodate others. This will prevent you from living your most authentic life. If you live without knowing who you are, what you want, and what you're striving for, and constantly try to please others, you will lose touch with yourself and gradually lose your true self. Ultimately, the journey of identifying and living by your values is not always easy. It requires patience, self-awareness, and sometimes the courage to face internal conflicts and social pressures. But, as Seneca said, there is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know where to go. When you know where you are headed and what your values are, you will find that every wind is an opportunity for you to grow and become stronger. Number 5. Assess requests. Often, in our desire to please others, we readily say yes without much thought when friends ask for favors. However, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of carefully evaluating each request before committing. This is a crucial skill that helps us stop trying to please everyone and protects our own values and time. When you receive a request, allow yourself to pause for a moment. Consider whether the other person is trying to take advantage of your generosity. Are they someone who always seeks your help, but is never there when you need them to reciprocate? They might be aware of your generous nature and consistently ask for your assistance, even for tasks they could manage on their own, knowing you won't refuse. Assessing requests helps you maintain control over your life, free from external pressures. When faced with a request, ask yourself, is this truly necessary for my goals and values? If the answer is no, you should politely and firmly decline. Evaluating requests not only helps you uphold your personal values, but also allows you to use your time and energy more effectively. Consider a specific example. A close friend needs help with a personal project. Before agreeing, ask yourself, do I have the time and energy to help? Does this request impact my personal goals? Can they complete the project without my help? If you decide to decline, remember that your refusal does not diminish the value of your relationship. On the contrary, it shows respect for both yourself and others. We're halfway through today's journey. Thank you for being here. Your presence is a great encouragement for us as we strive to bring the true values of Stoic philosophy to more people. So, please like and share this video to spread these lessons to your family and friends and help build a happier and more peaceful world. Leave a comment saying, I am ready to live for myself, to let us know you are prepared to become a Stoic and full of energy to continue the journey with the next 5 lessons. Number 6. Conflict is not the problem. In life, conflict is unavoidable. However, for those who constantly strive to please others, conflict is often seen as a personal failure, a sign that they were not good enough to maintain harmony. This leads them to avoid conflict at all costs, even sacrificing their own values and needs. But is this truly the right solution? Stoic philosophy offers us a different perspective, a more powerful approach. Conflict is not the problem. It is an opportunity for us to learn and grow. Stoic philosophy teaches us that conflict is not inherently problematic. Rather, it is our reaction and evaluation of it that matters. Instead of avoiding conflict, we should face it with calmness and reason, viewing it as a natural part of life. One reason we often try to please others is our fear of negative emotions arising in our relationships. We fear that the other person will turn their back on us or judge us if we say no. However, it's important to understand that not fearing conflict and saying no when necessary is also a way to assess our relationships. Are they worth maintaining if the other person demands that you compromise your values, time, and energy to help them? If a relationship doesn't allow you to grow and conflict arises when you refuse, it's best to let it go immediately. When you stop fearing conflict and learn to face it rationally and calmly, you will gradually let go of the need to please others. You will see that conflict is a natural part of life and not always a sign of failure. Instead, it is an opportunity for you to express your values and principles to build more genuine and stronger relationships. Have you ever turned down someone's request because it didn't contribute to your growth, or because you simply didn't have enough time and energy for it? Did conflict arise as a result? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Number 7. Learning to say no. Imagine a day filled with requests from colleagues, friends, and family. Do you feel stretched thin and stressed by others' expectations? If you keep saying yes just to please them, you'll quickly feel exhausted and lose your sense of self. Learning to say no is a crucial step toward reclaiming freedom and control in your life. Stoic philosophy teaches us to set clear boundaries, prioritize our needs, and recognize our own value. These are the foundations we've explored to build a solid support system that allows us to confidently say no when necessary to protect our values, time, and energy. Saying no defends your soul and values from unnecessary burdens. Refusing a request isn't disrespectful, it's a demonstration of self-respect and self-control. Ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Does this align with my goals and values? These questions help you make wise decisions and avoid getting caught up in the cycle of people-pleasing. Learning to say no also helps you focus on what truly matters and has meaning for you. Think about the last time you regretted saying yes to something you didn't really want to do. That feeling comes from giving up your control to please others. Remember, saying no not only protects your values, but also helps you create a life you truly want. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true freedom and happiness lie in our ability to control our emotions and decisions. Learning to say no is a vital part of this journey. When you dare to refuse things that don't align with your values and goals, you'll feel stronger, more confident, and ultimately happier. Not only should we learn to say no when necessary, but we must also avoid making excuses when we decline. Let's move on to lesson number 7. Number 8. Avoid making excuses. Marcus Aurelius, one of the renowned Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This quote encourages us to be straightforward with others and ourselves when saying no. By not making excuses, you force yourself to face the truth of the situation and your response in the most genuine way. This not only helps you live true to your values, but also maintains your self-respect and confidence. Imagine a simple scenario. A friend asks you for help with something, but you really don't have the time or simply don't want to do it. If you make an excuse, you might say you're busy with this or that, or have an important appointment. But if you're honest and say you can't help because you need time for yourself or have other plans, you will feel more comfortable and relieved. Do you find this to be true? Moreover, once you start explaining why you can't do something, you give the other person an opportunity to poke holes in your reason. Worse, they might adjust their request to fit the reason you provided. When you honestly decline and give a sincere reason, you send a signal that you are being very genuine with the other person. This can help you build trust and respect with others. It also makes you more confident and valuable as you steadfastly refuse to let unworthy things affect your life. They will know that when you do say yes, your agreement is meaningful. Ask yourself, do you want to live a truthful life where all your decisions here and actions are based on your own truth and values? Or do you want to continue living in pretense and justification? The answer will surely help you see your life and the way you want to live it more clearly. Number 9. Accept that you can't please everyone. Accepting that you can't please everyone is a significant step towards stopping the excessive effort to satisfy others. This is a truth that Stoic philosophy clearly emphasizes. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. And other people's satisfaction is something we cannot control. So, stop worrying about it." Imagine a life where you always strive to please everyone around you. You might feel like you're walking on a tightrope, constantly tense, fearing that even a small mistake could make you fall. The truth is, no one can please everyone all the time. But why do we still try? It's because we're afraid of rejection, afraid of judgment, and crave acceptance. But perhaps you've forgotten an important thing. True acceptance comes from within. We cannot control what others think or feel about us. The only thing we can control is our own reaction. Ask yourself, are the people you're trying to please so important that you have to sacrifice your own joy and peace of mind? Look at the life of Socrates, an ancient Greek philosopher who was sentenced to death for daring to challenge societal norms. Socrates did not seek to please the powerful or the masses, but lived true to his philosophy and beliefs. He demonstrated that being honest with oneself and one's ideals is far more important than trying to please others. Remember, accepting that you can't please everyone is not a sign of weakness, but a manifestation of inner freedom and strength. Stop seeking external approval and start listening to yourself. Do you agree with this perspective? If so, comment "Please myself" below to let me know. If not, share your thoughts so we can discuss them together. Number 10. Start with small challenges. If the 9 mindset changes mentioned above seem overwhelming, don't worry. Begin with the smallest steps. When you start with small challenges, you're gradually building a solid foundation for your decision-making and choice abilities. Each time you say no to a small request, you're reinforcing your confidence and belief in your self-control. For example, you can start by declining a dinner invitation if you feel uncomfortable or simply want to spend time with yourself. It's a small action, but it significantly impacts how you view and manage your time and energy. Over time, as you get used to saying no to small requests, you'll find it easier to face larger demands without the pressure of pleasing others. But why are small challenges so important? Sudden changes are often too difficult because human behavior tends to follow patterns to save energy. When your habit of pleasing others is as ingrained as brushing your teeth daily, it's challenging to change immediately. Small challenges help you gradually shift your thinking and perception of yourself. You start to realize that pleasing others is not the main goal of life. Instead, living true to your values and principles is what's most important. Starting with small challenges also helps build your self-esteem and self-confidence. When you succeed in declining small requests, you feel more confident in facing larger challenges. You'll realize that you can lead a self-sufficient and fulfilling life without constantly trying to please others. So, Are you ready to start with small challenges to stop trying to please others? Remember, every small action is a significant step forward on your journey to true freedom and happiness. Remember, your life is not determined by the gaze or judgments of others, but by the values and principles you choose to follow. Stop imprisoning yourself in the expectations of others and start living an authentic life where you control your emotions and decisions. Saying no is sometimes challenging, but it's a significant step towards protecting your self-esteem and personal values. Ask yourself, do you want to live a life full of pressure and stress, or one of freedom, autonomy, and peace? Every decision you make is an opportunity to assert your own values and live true to your unique identity. When you start applying the principles of Stoic philosophy, you will feel a positive shift in your life. You will find inner strength, become more confident in your decisions, and feel more at peace with your choices. Courageously step through the door to personal freedom, living a life full of self-respect and self-love. You deserve it. Start today, and let Stoic philosophy guide you to a fulfilling and meaningful life. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Your presence here shows your effort to make a change. If you find these methods helpful, share them with friends and family to build a better life together. Which of the 10 methods did you like the most? Comment below with your thoughts. We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more useful content from us. See you on the next exciting journey.